The winter meetings are coming tomorrow, and with this insane free agent class and Juan Soto still available, baseball is about to change drastically. With reports that all hell is going to break loose after Soto signs, and reports coming that Soto will be signed within the next 2 to 3 days, it's looking like we are on our way to an incredible baseball week. I would love to know in the comments section who you think is going to sign during winter meetings or even get traded, and let me know where you think Juan Soto is going to sign his insane contract as well. So far throughout the offseason, we have not had too many moves, but it hasn't been nothing. Clay Holmes has been signed to the Mets as a starting pitcher after blowing every single game for the Yankees in the bullpen, but I think this is a good move. I honestly wanted him as the Red Sox 5-starter. Shane Bieber returned to the Guardians even though he's injured and his elbow is currently going through reconstructive surgery. The worst owner in baseball history is spending more money than Oakland has ever spent the first year that he leaves Oakland, which is just such a slap in the face to Oakland fans. But now the Sacramento Athletics have spent $67 million on Luis Severino. Blake Snell, of course, signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and obviously the contract is massive and deferred most of it. That's just common practice at this point. The Angels are signing as many players as humanly possible, with Yusei Kikuchi, Travis d'Arnaud, and Kyle Hendricks being the big ones. Hopefully one of those pitchers has the first good Angels pitching season in 100 years. Frankie Montas and Matthew Boyd are both getting overpaid because they both throw baseballs, and that's what teams pay for. The catchers are all flying off the board because, again, there's just not a lot of good catchers. And weirdest of all, Aroldis Chapman is a Boston Red Sox. And Salvador Perez said that's been his dream for years. Like, what? Aroldis Chapman has wanted to be a Red Sox? I mean, it's just so weird to me. I don't even know what to say about Chapman. As always, the reporting has been fun. Of course, it's always fun in the offseason. John Heyman and Jim Bowden are trying to break the world record for the most conflicting reports in a 14-day span ever, and oh my goodness, are they doing well at that goal. Mets fans are creating burners and pretending like they are a real source and getting 10K likes on Twitter even though it's their first post on a new account, because that's where we're at with this Juan Soto sweepstakes. And potentially the Mets manager's son leaked their offer on TikTok. I mean, I don't know what's happening anymore. Red Sox fans have been saying that Soto has already been signed for weeks. Yankees fans think he's going back to them no matter what because they are the Yankees. And even Jeff Passan said no one actually has any clue what's happening and even who are the favorites at this point, because it's just such a random situation right now. Once again, the MLB reporting is the biggest mess you can possibly find. I mean, who would have guessed? But honestly, since it's taken a long time anyway, you might as well buckle up and enjoy the clown show. Just go on Twitter and scroll for a couple of minutes and you will see hundreds of the dumbest things you could possibly find anywhere on the entire planet. And I'm not even talking about human-made, I'm talking about by anything. However, winter meetings are arriving tomorrow, and what that means is a good thing for everyone that has spent most of the past days on Twitter praying that they see a Jeff Passan notification about Soto signing with their favorite team. I know that that's what I've been doing, and I need to be productive again. That's why this video is short. I'm recording it the night before and editing it the night before because Juan Soto is stressing me out more than anything else ever has. Steve Cohen just needs to open up his pocketbook and spend a ludicrous amount of money on Juan Soto and waste his career in New York for the rest of his life, because I am done with this sweepstake. And by the way, I'm just kidding. Mets fans, please just don't attack me. I'm just kidding. However, it's been reported that once Soto is off the board, which is rumored to happen before winter meetings officially start on Monday, which is just 2 days away if you can count to the number 2, all hell is going to break loose, and we are going to have one of the most active winter meetings in a long time. The two players I personally see as the most likely players to fly off the board during the winter meetings are the two aces that remain. I already said that Blake Snell has been signed. He's already a Dodger. He's already off the board. His name obviously is not a part of this. Corbin Burnes and Max Fried are the two that I'm talking about right here. The issue for everyone that's name is not Juan Soto right now is that the 5 biggest market franchises in baseball are all fighting and focusing on Soto himself. So these aces are getting a little bit overlooked right right now, even though it's been reported that Max Fried and the Yankees have been meeting and have made some decent progress. Coupled with the fact that Corbin Burnes and Max Fried are really the only two pitchers that are left on the market that you actually know what you're going to get out of them, Walker Buehler and Jack Flaherty are both good pitchers, but you really don't know what you're getting out of those two. The only two consistent pitchers are Corbin Burnes and Max Fried. Because of that, I think teams are going to be foaming at the mouth for these guys the second Juan Soto is off the board. The Red Sox, probably the Yankees, probably the Mets, they're all going to be going crazy over these two, regardless of where Soto ends up, in my opinion. But they've got to get that Soto stuff figured out before they can move on to the aces. But once Soto's done, the aces will be gone as well very quickly. Teoscar Hernandez will also move quickly because the second the Dodgers miss Soto, which is going to happen, Hernandez will be back in Dodger blue, and I mean like within milliseconds. And I can see the other big name bats like Pete Alonso, Willy Adames, and Alex Bregman moving quickly as long as Bregman isn't actually looking for $300 million, because he's simply not getting that much money. Alex Bregman is simply not as good as Manny Machado, and he's not going to get paid like Manny Machado. I know that Scott Boras likes playing the leverage game. This needs to be a leverage move because he knows that Alex Bregman is not worth $300 million. He knows that. Willy Adames, I'd assume, is either a Red Sox or a Yankee in my opinion, unless the Mets miss out on Juan Soto and go after him instead. Pete Alonso, I think, will be back on the Mets. Another thing that I'm super curious about is where the four legends of the game will end up signing, and by that I mean Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Kenley Jansen, and Paul Goldschmidt. These guys are all future Hall of Fame players in my opinion, but they are all very old at this point, and they were nowhere near as productive as they once were in 2024. I would have added Clayton Kershaw to this list as well, but let's be real, we all know exactly where he'll end up, and it's the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course. Obviously, Clayton Kershaw is also a first ballot Hall of Fame talent. It's just he's gonna be a Dodger. This is where he always ends up. If he would test the market, it would be a little more interesting, but he's not gonna test the market. I also think there's a very good chance that Garrett Crochet is traded during these meetings, which can really shake up a team's rotation if he does get moved. Again, if there's two teams that I see really getting involved in Garrett Crochet, it's the Phillies because they've already been involved in him, and it's the Red Sox. Masataka Yoshida and Nolan Arenado are the other two names that I would keep the closest eye on over the week as well, because they are also two players that are sitting on the trade block and just waiting for a team to bite on them. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if those two were somewhat traded in a money swap for each other, with the Red Sox sending over a couple of prospects to the Cardinals as well to even out the Nolan Arenado side of it. Feels like something that could end up happening. I don't know how interested they're going to be in Yoshida, however. During all this chaos, we will be hearing who won the draft lottery and got the #1 overall pick this year, and it is a massive prize on who will get the #1 prospect in the class. And it's simply because the #1 prospect in the class is Jackson Holliday's even younger brother, Ethan Holliday, who might be even better than Jackson is projected to be himself. Then we get the Rule 5 draft, which will be happening during this week as well, which is less exciting, but just more baseball content for the week. And with all of these players available and the reports of the market getting ready to explode, I'm super curious and excited to see how all of this plays out. This is the best week of the offseason, and just enjoy it before we go back to reporters rewording the same report for the 588th time. And by the way, Boston Red Sox, go out and sign Juan Soto. Please, John Henry. My first video on this channel is me yelling at John Henry. It's time to make up for that and sign a superstar. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.